All right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yakwat that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right. So, the prophets have been here, man. The prophets have been here speaking these words, all right, giving out the warnings. While you got these, while you got these jokers who are in positions of leadership telling you not to worry about the things that's taking place. All right? When you hear people like Captain Tazariak tell you, all right, that white people worry about things like this. We shouldn't worry about things like this. White people worry about things, so-called white people worry about microchips and data centers and a digital surveillance state and a digital prison. All right. This is why the true prophets are needed. This is why the true prophets are needed. You see what I'm saying? Because when there is no vision, all right, where there is no vision, the people will perish. If no one is sounding the alarm on this, all right, if the prophets are not speaking these words, is he really a shepherd? You see what I'm saying? So let's go here. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. You see what I'm saying? The vision goes into the prophecies. This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. It reads, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So it's our job, it was our duty, all right, as the men of the Lord, through the Spirit, to give the warning of the things that we are seeing in these last days. You see what I'm saying? While everybody's set on their leaves, while all these different camps, these different camp leaders, are not telling you what's coming. They're not giving you the warning. But very soon you're going to understand. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. You see what I'm saying? Our job was to tell you of these things, to warn you of these things that's coming. Our job is not to get you to believe it. You see what I'm saying? That's not our prerogative. You know what I'm saying? That's not our concern. Our concern is that we speak it so that you can hear it. You see what I'm saying? Whether you believe that or not, that's up to the Heavenly Father. You see what I'm saying? It's up to the Heavenly Father. We're supposed to bring these things and make it plain upon table. Make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. You see what I'm saying? And the prophets have done that, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down. You see what I'm saying? So your blood is off our hands. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Let's do this. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17, it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. All right, throughout the years, we the prophets have been mocked, all right, for going into different movies and different shows that they display on TV, and linking them to the things that we're seeing, to the things that are prophesied. All right, we were mocked for that. Beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, we were mocked. When we mentioned things like the movie Monsters of Men, the movie I, Robot, the movie Convergence, the movies The Terminator, The Matrix, we were mocked when we was going into these things. But these Edomites, all right, they work on the left-hand side. And if you don't understand how this thing works, if you don't understand the principles that they adhere to on the left-hand side, you're not going to understand why they're doing what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? If you don't understand the revelation of the method, if you don't understand, you know what I'm saying, predictive programming, if you don't understand these things, okay, and that's why when you got these Israelites who call in to Captain Tazariak and ISUPK and ask them these very important questions. All right, they do what Elder Apostle Avramlab says. They do the hot potato. You know what I'm saying? They pass it on to the next guy. In the past, they pass it on to the next guy. You know what I'm saying? And they never answer the questions. You see what I'm saying? So let's listen to this video. All right. Let's listen to this video from Dabu 7. It says the replacements are here. Humanoid warbots, live fires mortars for U.S. military at Vegas test range.
Meet the Phantom MK1. This is the replacement for humans, all in all, one of the first series, but the replacement for soldiers, for sure, on the battlefield. This Phantom MK1 is now being marketed as being something that can be used in many different ways, dual use. These humanoid robots are now being equipped with kinetic weapons. As you can see on the left, just a 9mm pistol. And dual use means you can use this in the home to help fold laundry, or you could take it out to start bucking off rounds. This is what scares most people out there, because they see that these things are not going to be easy to defeat once they have them primed and at their top level. It's already scary watching the Chinese videos and all the other places competing here. We saw the robot karate kick a kid in the chest and fold him in two. No word on what happened to that kid, but it just goes to show just how easy these robots can hurt a person just by not even trying. They're all metal. Much less if you get a weapon into their hands. So I'm going to leave you guys here with a video clip showing you exactly what they're doing here with these robots. They're taking them onto the battlefield, so to speak, and they're conducting drills with them.
All right, you good? All right, you guys ready back there? Yes, sir.
you can see that this bot is loading mortar rounds. This humanoid robot loading rounds to be launched on the enemy. And that is a closer look at our replacements that are here. Join me for the live show going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. So again, this is Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. All right, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. As the apostle Ramlab was going into earlier, all right, if you have not heard the words, you're not a prophet. You see what I'm saying? If you have not heard the words, then that means you are not a prophet. And what's the words that the Heavenly Father would be giving to his prophets? All right, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, and when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there were written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Lamentations and mourning and woe. Destruction on top of destruction on top of destruction. Sorrows, calamities, chaos, fear, dread. All of these things are the words that the Heavenly Father has given to us to give to you. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wicked deeds, from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So your blood is off our hands, man, because we have warned you that this day was coming, and it's here now. You see what I'm saying? It's here now. And I promise you, these droids that you're looking at, this is not the real big, heavy hitting, all right, robots that they got locked in the vaults, stored away. I'm telling you, this is not the ones that they about to really display. You see what I'm saying? The real killer ones, they got them tucked away. They got them tucked away. I tell you, man, they got them tucked away, man. These are the ones that you're allowed to see. Those robot dogs, the drones, the flying robots and all that stuff, man. All right, those are what you're allowed to see. So let's go here. I got a couple articles real quick. Bear with me. This is from Defense Express. It says in 2 years, this was published last year, December the 20th, 2025. It says in 2 years, 50,000 battle droids may replace some of U.S. Army servicemen. While on the real battlefield, unmanned ground vehicles have become actively distributed this year, and we are talking mainly about logistical platforms. In the U.S., they dream a full-fledged combat humanoid robot, which will replace the military and will even be able to hold an automatic rifle in their hands. They're preparing for when the public finally turns against the government, as it is written in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, starting at the 15th verse. They will not regard their kings nor their princes. Let's get that real quick. You see what I'm saying? People have taken for granted this truth for far too long, man. And it's about to be go time, and they're going to be looking for answers. They're going to be looking for solutions. They're not going to find them, because the Lord is going to remove his prophets from off these street corners. We're already starting to see it over in Canada. You see what I'm saying? Where they're attacking the Bible. They're attacking the scriptures. They're coming for the prophets, man. And the big boys, the big machinery, the big the big tech that they're not telling you about, those are meant for the elect. See what I'm saying? Those are meant for the elect, man. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, starting at verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And this year is going to see one of the craziest. It's not going to be normal. All right, it's going to be abnormal in every which way possible. You see what I'm saying? Now that this whole peace deal with Iran is falling apart, okay, and there is no opening of that strait in sight. All right, everything's going according to plan. They're going to starve out the people. You see what I'm saying? No food, no water, and it's going to result in this civil war that we're reading. It says the American Defense Startup Foundation Future Industries, which creates humanoid robots, wants to promote them primarily for the U.S. military. According to CEO Sanket Patak, they want to make about 50,000 such battle droids in a fairly short time, in just 2 years by the end of 2027. According to Forbes, this is a very, very rapid scaling of robot production, from 40 to 50 units this year to 10,000 next year, as well as 40,000 in 1 year. It says the robot itself, called Phantom, was also created in a fairly short time, in 18 months. Some of Foundation's production robots are already involved in real production at partner locations. However, the details of what tasks these robots perform are undisclosed. All right? But as we saw in the video, we get a good idea of what they're being programmed to do. You see what I'm saying? And when the time comes, you know what I'm saying, these patriots and all that, they're not gonna stand by and aim their rifle at US citizens, knowing that they're supposed to be standing on the Constitution. And everyone is going to understand that they were betrayed. You see? This is why it says what it says in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right? That they're not going to regard their kings nor princes, man. because they're going to realize that this dude Trump and all the rest of these jokers, they are all corrupt. Every last one of them. It's only going to finally click in their minds. You see? That there is no electing this away. There is no voting this away. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to the next article. All right, this article comes from financialcontent.com. It says, from 50,000 battle droids to new robot laws, why an autonomous security force may be America's next upgrade. Okay? Remember, you are supposed to become augmented into this new reality of theirs. If not, then you'll be left behind. Okay? Or you'll be unalived. You see? According to their wording. All right? Let's go to real quick. Let's go to Revelation. Excuse me. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And this is a part of that sword. Okay? These robotics, okay? These things are a part of that sword, man. And they're about to come with it. Okay? And they're going to come for the elect, man. Let's go to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It reads, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. This is that sword that has been sharpened and furbished. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, the big dog projects, those are tucked away. All right? Tucked away snugly, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows that they exist. And they're going to be rolled out for the elect. All right, to fight against the elect. They're going to be rolled out to fight against those of us that the Heavenly Father is going to imbue with spiritual powers. Okay? It says, in the next 2 years, a Silicon Valley defense startup called Foundation aims to build 50,000 humanoid robots for frontline military and industrial use, putting AI-powered battle droids on track to take on the most dangerous jobs handled by human soldiers. These robots are emerging just as new legislation seeks to boost U.S. robotics leadership and keep foreign-made humanoid systems out of critical infrastructure and security roles. As policymakers race to get robot-ready public market names like Nightscope Incorporated, Palantir Technologies, Ouster, SoundHound AI, Kratos Defense and Security Solutions, okay, etc., are already commercializing the AI, sensing, and security stacks that could underpin this emerging humanoid security ecosystem. All right. So yeah, man. And you read this, it goes into all the different applications that these various companies are coming with. You know what I'm saying? All right. Palantir, Anthropic, Grok, you know what I'm saying? Google AI, all these different platforms. Okay, and they're going to utilize all of them. You see what I'm saying? In order to bring the you know, bring down this great wrath, right? So again, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He knows his time is very short. He's running out of time, and he's got to get this thing moving now. This is why your boy Peter Thiel, all right, moved out of the country, took his whole family and moved out the country. You see what I'm saying? This is why all these billionaires are creating bunkers and everything like that. As a matter of fact, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go. Let's look at a couple videos real quick. All right, bear with me.
I'm sure you know that the billionaires are finalizing their touch-ups on their bunkers that they've built inside mountains and underneath. My ex is in charge of one of them. I won't mention the billionaire he works for. And he offered to have me come stay in one. And I said, no. In fact, I said, fuck no. And it wasn't an act of love. It was an act of need, because I have some very unusual talents that help in times of need. He wanted me to be part of the program. No, he's a narc. He's as worse as Trump. So, the billionaires are going to be entombed in their bunkers. I hope never to come back out. So, they started accumulating a lot of food the end of 24. And canned food lasts well beyond the expiration date. And water. So they think they're going to be safe. Well, I can think of things I'd like to have happen so they don't come out. With that, I will say goodbye. I'm a little groggy today. I did a whole bunch of twisting and turning yesterday afternoon that my body is going ouch about today. I mean, I got myself in spaces that I thought I was going to be stuck in. Needed to get something done. So, okay, loves. Talk to you later.
This was released on February 7th, 2020, so over a month before the pandemic started.
I was invited to do what I thought was a talk to like bankers or something at a resort. They brought these 5 guys into the green room who started peppering me with all these questions. And eventually they got around to the question of, Alaska or New Zealand. Right? So they wanted to know mainly how to prepare for collapse of society. And the question we spent most of the time on was, how do I maintain control of my security force after the event? Because their money's going to be worthless and these guys will turn on them. And it just struck me that here are the wealthiest and most powerful men I've ever encountered, yet they feel utterly powerless to influence the digital future, that the best they can do is prepare for the inevitable collapse and, insulate themselves from the reality that they're creating by earning money in the way they're earning it. It was sad, but it was indicative of the way these folks are thinking. The high-level billionaires, like the Elon Musks and Jeff Bezos, they want to get off the planet altogether, really just leave us behind. But the mid-level billionaires who can't afford rocket ships, they want to build, bunkers and secret communities and get robot guards to protect themselves from the rest of us. They're convinced enough that they're putting in 20-30% of their wealth into these survivalist scenarios, and it's a dark place.
All right. So you heard that. Okay, they're getting their bunkers together. They're getting everything prepared for when this thing goes live. And it's gonna go live soon. All right. Now, I don't know if you remember this video. I brought this out a couple years back. You know what I'm saying? I still kept it in the back burner, man. You know what I'm saying? And it still hits today because this is what's coming, man. All right, this is what's coming. This guy right here is an X-Men known as Bishop, and he is able to have visions and things of that nature. All right, and he speaks about the eradication of the X-Men. Okay, and if you look at Marvel, the creator of Marvel, all right, who created the X-Men, I think his name was Stan Lee, and he said that the concept of the X-Men was based upon the plight of the so-called Negroes, all right, between the philosophies of Malcolm X and, you know, Martin Luther King. So the X-Men, okay, when it goes into the prejudice that's aimed towards the X-Men for their unique abilities and things of that nature, all right, is very well reminiscent of what we see today with how the prejudice lies towards, or is aimed towards, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, all right, you Israelites, because you are the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if you believe that or not. Okay? The truth of the matter is that these very people who own trillions of dollars of assets, they believe this to be true. They believe the words of the prophets. They believe this because they have the records. They have all of the history. You see what I'm saying? While they're burning all these books, and they're burning all these or getting rid of all this history, all right, for the public's viewing pleasure, they actually have the real documents. Okay? They have the real scrolls and all these different things. You see what I'm saying? They have it all. They have seen, all right, a demonstration of the Lord's power through a man named Simeon Toko. You know what I'm saying? Who told them that there were going to be many, many more like him in the near future, and that they will not be able to stop them. That's going into the elect. You see what I'm saying? So fair use. All right. I'm not making any money or any monetary gain from this footage or from any of the previous videos that I showed. All right, fair use. This is for educational purposes only.
Time's up for all of you. Because of him, the whole world is going to be enslaved. Everything you believe in will lie in ashes, and the X-Men are going to die. It starts with a single death in Washington, D.C. The assassin is Gambit, but all mutants get blamed. People are afraid. They want action. They want protection. They want revenge. Mutant control law is passed, calling for an army of Sentinels. They march over the nation, seeking out mutants, hunting them down like animals. Surrender, mutant. Some fight back. But not for long. The Sentinels herd the surviving mutants into detention camps. The camps are your final stop. Never. But those who control the Sentinels don't stop with mutants. Eventually, they bring their new world order to all humans.
Okay? So, as he said, the Sentinels. Well, these are those battle droids that you're seeing. All right? These are those battle droids that you're seeing. The fact that he said that there was an anti-mutant law that was passed, okay, lets you know that this thing was a process. Okay? This thing was a process, and it didn't take very long in order to make its way. You see what I'm saying? So they steamrolled these bills. Well, who do they steamroll these bills against? All right, you got bills that'll sit in the Congress for years, for decades even. All right, but when it comes to a bill that's aimed against you Israelites, against you Jakes, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, always these bills seem to steamroll their way through. Okay, he said the Sentinels were given, or shall I say, the funding for these Sentinels in their bill was passed. Okay, and we just saw the quote unquote big beautiful bill that was passed. We've seen executive order after executive order after executive order being passed concerning this AI. You see what I'm saying? Everything is already in place. All right, and this is a clip from 1992, and here it is. All right, and they're preparing to come down on you Israelites, man. All right, and like he said, the mutants were the first to be rounded into these detention camps. And then what? And then the focus was on the rest of the people. You see what I'm saying? Just like what we saw with these detention centers over in Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz, and all the rest of these detention centers that's being built up. Okay, they say that it's for the immigrants, quote unquote, the immigrants. Okay, and everybody's going in lockstep because they think, oh, that's going to make America great again, not knowing that they are a part of the target. It's going to end with them. You see what I'm saying? Because eventually, everyone is going to receive this all right, this harsh treatment. Okay. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. And that's what you just saw in this clip. Right? It says, and there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay? And that's going into all you Israelites. All of you. You are the mutants that the Sentinels are going to be they're going to be programmed to go against. Verse 71. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses. Then shall it be known, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, the persecution is about to ramp up. All right? And here it is, you see all these hirelings, they're starting to get cold feet. All right, they're backing away, they're stepping away from the flock. You see what I'm saying? Only the elect are going to make it out of this, man. You see what I'm saying? Because eventually, this whole thing is going to morph from being against so-called black men, so-called black people, so-called Latinos, Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. It's gonna morph from that, all right, to every last one of you, every last one of these people out here, all right. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad. You know what I'm saying? But this is where this is where faith comes in, man, because all right, the Lord said that He's going to take care of us, that He's going to protect us. You know what I'm saying? That He's going to guide us, and He's going to, give us the strength. All right. Let's go here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 41. Let's start at verse 13. Isaiah 41 and 13, it says, "For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff." It's coming, man. All right, we gonna need spiritual power when they activate these Sentinels, these robot droids. You see what I'm saying? These battle droids. We gonna need the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And those of you Israelites who have been playing around, I was just listening to Elder Yashalam, all right, his video. He was covering, all right, the fact that they're now chipping these inmates. You see what I'm saying? When this thing hits, when it comes, all those who took this truth for granted, all of those who've been playing games the whole time, they are going to perish. All right? It's going to be a major shakeup in Israel once they see it. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rucha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.